Thank you so much for sending on in the tune Blue Eyes. Do appreciate it. Good to see you getting your first vocal track out there for feedback. So any feedback for it, Blue Eyes, go ahead and put that in the chat, what you liked, what you think can be improved about the song. And again, we're doing the free giveaway in 1 hour and 2 minutes. Regardless of how many people are in this stream, we're giving the orchestral companion brass away to one of you. So again, let your friends know about this awesome synth that they can win. All right, so overall, really cool vibe to it. Love the vocal. I thought that worked really well. The timbre of the vocal with the more kind of electronic ridden track that you had, as far as just the pads, the little lead sound that you had. All those worked really well together for the track. Because sometimes when you're working with electronic tracks, vocals can sometimes, depending on the timbre, it can be difficult to fit in at times. I feel like, and the vocal is processed nicely and works well. So good job on that. Let's see. So a few things definitely that need to be improved with this track, in my opinion. Definitely more instruments in the track. I think a few of you guys mentioned that it could be filled out a bit more. Definitely more instruments. It seemed pretty bare at times. And I think that really focusing on the song arrangement would really help with this. I'll go ahead and put a tutorial in here for you that you can check out. A lot of, definitely some of the feedback that I have, I've created tutorials for, and are definitely more in-depth than something I could explain right now to you. So song arrangement is definitely something that you need to work on, and I would definitely recommend checking out that YouTube video that I just put in the chat right there. So give that a click, give the SoundShock Audio channel a follow, and this should definitely help with knowing where instruments should go in your track. That's always, it seems to be a tough thing for producers to get a handle on. Is just when instruments should come in and out of the track, how they should come in, what instruments should be playing together. That's always a big decision for your arrangement, and can make or break your arrangement. There you go. Throw OTT on everything. TY Loopy 123. That solves life's problems. Yeah, just throw. If someone. If anyone asks you a question that just they're having a problem, just say throw OTT on it. Oh, I had a bad day. My girlfriend broke up with me. Just throw OTT on it. That's how you handle things. Another thing I'd mention is the gain staging. The gain staging of your track is also a bit off. The gain staging meaning the specific volumes of individual instruments and the groups of your instruments in your track. That is gain staging. And I felt it was a bit off. Certain elements were too quiet, certain elements were too loud. Well, I wouldn't say certain elements were too loud. It seemed like certain elements were too quiet. And I think that having the proper gain staging will definitely improve this track overall. I think it will sound like a new track if you have better gain staging with this track, just again by changing the volume levels of the specific elements and the groups of your elements in your track. And I have, again, a tutorial for you to check out that will help you with this gain staging. Again, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat for you, Blue Eyes, so check that out. Gain staging for electronic dance music can be applied to other genres as well. And again, I give a specific list of the elements in your track, the groups of the elements in your track, and where they could be decibel-wise. So I give numbers, like your kick, -6 to -8 decibels, and these are just guidelines that you could follow, and they should definitely help improve your mix. What else here? So yeah, gain staging, song arrangement. Also a sub. I think you're missing a sub bass in your track. Seemed a bit hollow in the very low end. So definitely add a sub bass that plays along with the bass line that you have in your track. And I'll definitely fill out your song. And vocal effects. I think the track could have been filled out with more vocal effects as well. You had such a nice vocal that worked very well harmoniously with your other instruments, and having vocal effects with reverb, delay to add more interest, to fill out the track, to keep the track moving along would definitely help improve the song. So a few things that you could definitely fix up in this track to really improve the song. I definitely recommend trying out the feedback and seeing if it does good for your song. And in any case, if none of my feedback works, just fall back on TY Loopy's TY Loopy 123's tip of the day. Throw OTT on it. All right. Moving on up here. ZYQSTV, thank you so much for the follow. Thanks for coming on in. Do appreciate it. Hopefully you'll stick around for the free giveaway in 1 hour of the orchestral companion brass. Again, let your friends know of this awesome feedback that they can receive. And the free plugin. All right. Harakari, you are up next. Let's get your track rolling. We're rolling. We are rolling. Thank you so much for sending on in a sweet house tune. I believe I heard this before. I feel like that dun dun dun, that definitely sounds familiar. I don't know if you sent this in a few weeks ago, because it definitely sounds familiar. So any feedback for Harakari, go ahead and put that in the chat. What you liked and what you think can be improved. What you think could be improved about the song. And again, don't forget, we're doing the free giveaway in 52 minutes. 52 minutes. We're doing the orchestral companion brass free giveaway. So I love the vibe that he had going in the track. I think the vocals worked really well. Just house 4 on the floor beat, the arrangement, I thought it was good timing, 427. All that worked, again, well together. The things that I think could be improved are a couple things. I think you could add in more drum fills, more ear candy type sounds, really just to spice up the track. And just more overall variation to your different elements in your track, I think, is needed. I got a bit repetitive. Now, I know it's more of a houseier genre, and maybe, you don't necessarily want huge changes in your track, which is totally fine. Think of smaller changes then. Even on something very minimal, like minimal tech house or something like that, has a lot of variation in it. Again, it won't be very big sound changes, but changes in patterns, a slightly, a little tick of, extra hi-hat coming in every 8 bars, playing a different rhythm every 4 bars. All these small variations and small details add up and really create a more compelling song for the listener. Again, they don't have to have big changes in your track for it to be, really evolving and ever-changing. I think a small variations here. For example, the dun dun dun. It's just 2 notes that are playing. Dun dun dun. Try some variation. Try some effects on it. I think they definitely benefit from that. So just overall variation, I think, is needed. And it, again, could be on a smaller scale. Doesn't have to be something absolutely crazy in the track. Try changing the bass line. Try changing, again, the notes in the synth. Try changing the vocals. Add in different vocal effects in there. Add in different, pitch it down, pitch it up, distort it. Take the power to the people. Chop even more of those words up and scatter that out through the track, so you could change even more. Again, I just felt it was a bit stagnant in the track. Just the overall flow from section to section. So hopefully that feedback helps there. And thank you so much for the follow there, Loud Movers. Good to see you on in the stream for the first time. And good luck in the contest that we're doing in 50 minutes. The free giveaway of the Orchestral Companion Brass. Next up, we have Kyle Bondo. Let's see what we're working with here, Kyle Bondo. We're working with Jay Heinrich. Nice. Jay Heinrich, thanks for coming on into the stream. Feels like it's been a while. Good to see you two working on a track here. Little SoundShock community collab here. So let's get it started.
Oh my. my. Oh my.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my.
Bondo and Jay Heinrich coming at you with that hot track. Loving it, guys. Loving it. Thank you for sending it on in. Again, any feedback for Bondo and for Jay Heinrich, go ahead and type away in the chat what you liked and what you think could be improved. That'd be greatly appreciated. That way we can get a music production discussion started around this song and all things music production related. And hopefully by the end of this stream, you can walk away with at least one tip that you can use in your productions. And potentially the orchestral companion brass that we're giving away in 45 minutes. So again, love the sound design in the track. Always works so well. Yeah, love the sound design. Love the glitches that you have in the track. You know, the cuts in and out of sound, cutting in and out of the sounds. The combination of these different sounds that can be difficult to deal with, you know, at times to make it sound like one track. You know, because if you have so many different sounds, it's just harder to put the pieces of the puzzle together sometimes. So good job on that. Again, you know, for the feedback, I really have a lot of the same feedback that I've given to Jay Heinrich in the past. Yeah, a lot of the same feedback. So I don't think this is going to be that new. I'll start with one that maybe isn't quite, that I don't think I give that much to Jay Heinrich. But some of the sounds in the drop are a little thin and a little too quiet. I would say, yeah, some of the sounds seem to lose volume at times, and just, you know, again, when you have so many different sounds cutting in and out, keeping them, you want to keep the track stable, because it can be kind of confusing. If you have a lot of different sounds going in and out that are playing different volume levels, then the track sounds kind of confusing. Already with all these glitches, you know, it's already hard for, you know, the listener to, you know, fully grasp the track. So if you have volume indifferences that are just too different, then that's really going to throw off the listener. So again, I would solo the different chops you have in the track and really try and rein in the sounds of them. You know, I'd first go in and change the specific volumes of the specific track, and then I would add in compression onto the group of sounds that you have for your glitches in your drop. That way you can tighten it up even more. And I think that would be the best way to go about this. The mix is definitely hot, but that groove in the second break with the halftime and slow downs was pretty sweet. I would like to see a bit more of that taste in the first. Definitely could work really well in the first as well, that sort of halftime beat. You know, in my opinion, I think that works. I guess kind of the trend in electronic music is to keep that halftime beat for the second part of the second drop. That's usually where it goes, just to give that variation and difference for the track. But it could definitely, again, work for the entire track, really. And yes, Sir clips a lot. that Sir clips a lot. I knight you. Sir clips a lot. Jay Heinrich. That you should change your name to that. You should change your artist name to Sir Clips a Lot, Jay Heinrich. The track is definitely clipping too much. It is coming in too hot. I definitely recommend reducing the limiting. I've said that on like 90% of your tracks. I don't know if you want me to go even more into detail on that, because I have in the past. That's a good point there, Pondo Nation. Wonder if some of the sounds are quiet because other elements are literally taking all the headroom. That could definitely be. Also, I think the kick is slightly too loud in this track, just a little bit. Again, you want the kick in electronic music to be the loudest thing in your track, but not too loud. I think, again, it is a little bit too loud in this track. Maybe reduce it a decibel or so and see how that works in the song. That's not good enough, Jay Heinrich. A track called Sir Clips-A-Lot is not enough. You need to change your name to Sir Clips-A-Lot. Yeah, it's not enough. I feel like you've also won the prize of Kick Too Loud before also, Jay Heinrich. It's not like glaringly too loud in the mix, just a little bit too loud in the mix. What else? So yeah, that could be, you know, some elements are taking too much headroom, so there's not enough room for the other elements, so they sound thinner. That could definitely be the case here. So if you adjust some of the limiting and the just gain staging, like the kick, I think you might be able to really rein in the sounds and not have that problem, as well as not have it be too smushed and too clipped. Sir Clips-A-Lot. So just, again, something to think about. Okay, Jay Heinrich, why don't you send me a reference track. Send me a song that is in a similar genre or style of your track, and a track that you like the mix and master of. Send that to me so we can listen to it. Again, I always forget reference tracks. I think you guys should send me in reference tracks for me to listen to as well. I'll listen to your song, then I'll give the feedback, and then I'll listen to the reference track. That way I can give my feedback without being influenced by the reference track, and then I can compare them and see, you know, more of what you're trying to go for. And I think that will really help. There you go. The snare too loud. That's your goal. Definitely, you can feel that. You know, people always try and go for the kick too loud prize. The snare too loud prize has not been won yet. So that's definitely something you can win there, Bondo. But yeah, reference track. Send me a reference track there, Jay Heinrich, so I can listen to it and tell you what I think. Quick's Earthquake, Netsky remix. All right, let's quickly get into that. And then right now we have about 6 tracks in the queue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks in the queue. Yes. And thank you so much for the follow there, CDix. Do appreciate it, man. Hopefully you'll stick around for the free giveaway in 39 minutes of the Orchestral Companion Brass. Yours for free if you stick around. Also, let your friends know of the awesome feedback they can get in this live stream, as well as the plugin, and get them in here. All right, let's quickly go over that track. YouTube it up. YouTube it up.
I do not plan on a leave. And my nigga, shut up, you're worth it. I blow it all of your worth it. I am a man and I'm flexing on purpose. Get it, I got it right out of the mud. Blood doing numbers, got to make it flood. I make it happen, I'm perfect. Please don't disturb me, damn it, I'm working.
There's less limiting.
I turn up, I came with the bass. Gonna shit like it's an earthquake.
Although that sub kick does sound pretty limited though.
Turn up, I came with the bass. Gonna shit like it's an earthquake.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So another thing that I think, I've also mentioned this in your tracks before, is just the stereo width as well. Okay, this one is not mastered yet, but that will be referenced when we get to the phase gotcha. I'll always be doing a little mixing as I go, mostly just to make sure things are fitting. The second drop has the good in this one. I need to learn to make that 808. Definitely, yeah, Serum could work really well for that. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, ZYQSTV. Do appreciate you sharing the live stream on Facebook. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hopefully someone will stop on in, be able to get some feedback and some tips on their music. Yeah, so the stereo width. I think sometimes the elements in your track are too wide, and they just create the stereo image feels kind of flat, and it makes your track a little bit more lifeless when you have so many wide instruments and they're limited really limited a lot, because you have wide elements and they're all smushed to the front, and I think that causes just to lose its vibrancy, its three-dimensionalness. So I just think having some elements that are wide, that are kind of a little bit stereo spread, and having mono elements will definitely help with this. What else? Yeah, and while this track is pretty limited, it doesn't quite sound as loud as yours. Yours sounds louder and more smushed, though. So, it's really finding a balance between the two. That's really the key here. It just feels like there's a bit more depth in this track than yours, Jay Heinrich and Bondo. And again, that just comes down to the limiting, the compression that you have on it, and again, the stereo imaging. So I think reducing that and creating more of a contrast in your stereo image will help create more of this depth that you have in this track. All right, thank you again, Jay Heinrich and Bondo. Do appreciate it. We're moving on here. Who do we have next? We have Jathan Gold. Jathan Gold, are you still in the live stream here? Let me know. We can go over your track right now. Jathan Gold. I believe you are in the stream here. Okay, sweet. Let's do it.
Way too much for me, and I don't know what to say. I can't be everything you need. You are making this too hard on me, and the stress is starting to show. But I love you too much to let you go. To let you go. You to let you go. Go.
Alright, since you're running out of the data, we'll just go right into the feedback here. So definitely the vocals, I'll go right into what I think could be improved about the song here. I hope you guys do as well in the chat. So I think the vocals are too loud in the mix. Specifically when they come in, they just seem to overpower the mix a bit too much. You definitely want them to be on top of the mix, but again, not too loud. So just reducing them in volume a little bit could work. And also, just overall, I don't think the vocals seem to fit that well. The timbre of the vocals didn't seem to fit that well with the track. I think maybe reduce some of the processing that you have on the vocals. I think that could work well, just to make them fit a bit better in the track. Also, I think there could be more of an intro. They kind of just hopped right into a more energetic section. You know, I'm usually more against energetic sections in the very beginning where the intro should be, just because it changes the dynamics for the entire track. If you have a section that is more powerful, more energetic, more upbeat in the very beginning, then it kind of lessens the impact of other sections of your song, specifically the drop. The drop appears less impactful because you already gave the listener something impactful. So something to think about there. That's a bit of feedback that I got. Again, thank you very much for sending on in the track there. Do appreciate it, Jathan Gold. And hope to see you in future live streams here. Next up, we have Do Win. Are you in the stream here? We can go over your track. Hidden Quest, Hidden Eye, Hidden Quest. Are you in the stream right now? Let me know when we can go over it. Let me know. 30 minutes, 40 seconds to the free giveaway, everyone. We are getting closer. We are getting closer. Invite your friends. 13 people on the stream right now. We can get more than that in here, so we can run this free giveaway. Let's do it. Sweet. No scope ninjax. Hopefully that feedback helps, and hopefully it improves your song. Hidden Eye, are we in the stream? Let me know. Let me know when we can go over your track. It is up. It is up. I'll go ahead and pull up the next track just in case Hidden Eye is not in here. Holodin, are you in the stream? KRS, are you in the stream right now? KRS. Someone has to be in the stream before I can go over the track. No one seems to be in the stream, so we can't go over the track. Da, 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 da. I'm just gonna sing the rest of the stream for 29 minutes to the free giveaway of the orchestral companion brass that is so awesome. Okay, both of you guys are not here, so we'll move on. ZYQS sent me an email, but I did not get a link to your track. Go ahead and send that track on over again. There's ZYQS, because I do not have it. Okay, sweet, here we go. Let's do it.
Haven't seen you in a week. I thought I needed time to think. Kept your picture in my pocket. Doesn't that mean something? Baby, tell me if it's too late. Too late to end to stop this fight. Kept your sweater, I still wear it. Sleeping in it every night. Can we go back to say you're mine? Can't be your friend, I can't pretend that I'm fine seeing you with another love. Do you ever think of us? Too late to fight it. Who's gonna save this? And just like summer turns to fall, we turn to strangers. Our story changes, we turn the pages. As our walls come tumbling down, we turn to strangers. Too late to fight it. Who's gonna save this? And just like summer turns to fall, we turn to strangers. Our story changes. We turn the pages. As the walls come tumbling down, we turn to strangers. Haven't seen you in a month now. Wonder if you're missing me. Would you ever break the silence? Aren't you tired of running free? Can we go back to say you're mine? Can't be your friend, I can't pretend that I'm fine seeing you with another love. Do you ever think of us? Too late to fight it. Who's gonna save this? And just like summer turns to fall, we turn to strangers. Our story changes. We turn the pages. As the walls come tumbling down, we turn to strangers. Too late to fight it. Who's gonna save this? And just like summer turns to fall, we turn to strangers. Our story changes. We turn the pages. As the walls come tumbling down, we turn to strangers. Oh, I know that it hurts, but we're making it worse if we get any closer. Yeah, I know that it hurts, but we can't make it work, 'cause the fire's out, we turn to dust. Too late to fight it. Who's gonna save this? And just like summer turns to fall, we turn to strangers. Our story changes. We turn the pages. As the walls come tumbling down, we turn to strangers. Too late to fight it. Who's gonna save this? And just like summer turns to fall, we turn to strangers. Our story changes. We turn the pages. As the walls come tumbling down, we turn to strangers. Too late to fight it. Who's gonna save this? And just like summer turns to fall, we turn to strangers. Our story changes. We turn the pages. As the walls come tumbling down, we turn to strangers.
Nice. Nice, CYQS. Loving the remix. I think you'll do well in the remix competition here. So, definitely loved, I love this kind of genre. You know, the little plucky drop with the soothing vocals, kind of that pop, electronic crossover song. Always works so well. I do have some feedback that I really think can help improve this track. Definitely going to create a YouTube tutorial on this at some point in the future. Definitely see this in a lot of tracks, but definitely in your track, it was something that really poked out to me that I really think could be improved. So, you know what this calls for? You know what this calls for, guys?
This calls for the full screen. The full screen. Why I talk like this the whole time?
Reason we're going full screen. I want to talk about the vocals. I coined this term here on the SoundShockAudio Twitch channel called dynamic vocal arrangement. Dynamic vocal arrangement. Arrangement dynamic vocal. That is what is missing with this track. The vocal that you have in your song is playing with no effects. Okay, so no, it's not changing at all in the track. You processed it, it sounds good, clear, present, nice reverb on it, but it's playing like that the entire track. There's no effects, there's no, delays at certain parts, there's no, distortion, there's no chopping up of the vocals, there's no pitching up or down, it's just playing straight throughout. In your song, you have all these other small, intricate details, drums building up, transition effects, transition like drums and stuff like that. Your vocal also has to do this to create a dynamic arrangement. So I'd highly recommend, what I mean by dynamic vocal arrangement is having vocals play in specific parts of the arrangement and be at comparable energy levels. So what the fuck does that mean? In the intro, I'll usually like to have my vocals be more tucked back in the mix. So let's say it's the very beginning of the song. I'll have an EQ on it where I'm taking out some high frequencies, taking out some low frequencies, putting more reverb and delay to push it back farther in the mix. In the verse, I'll have the vocal playing, usually in mono, have a nice reverb on it, and it'll just, sound, straightforward. In the build-up, I'll start adding effects to the vocal. I'll start adding another layer to add more excitement and to signal to the listener that a new section is coming, and this build-up is building up to a bigger section in the drop. That is the drop, or the chorus. In the chorus, I'll layer my vocal with a chorus layer that makes the vocal sound wider in the mix. This is the most impactful part of the mix, the drop. So you want to have that wider in the mix than the verse or the intro. See, the intro I had it tucked back, away in the mix. In the verse I had it straightforward and clear, present. The build-up I had some changes with it to signal to the listener that a new section is coming. In the drop I had it playing nice and wide, nice and big, maybe some distortion over the top compression. Add a little bit of that in there just to give a little more bite, a little more sizzle, and again to make it more impactful in the mix. Again, going with the dynamics, the energy levels of your arrangement, I will process my vocals in that way. Also, just overall effects could be added to, overall transition or just ear candy type sounds could really add to this this track. There was zero vocal effects at all in this. Having something, every 8 bars where you take a specific word that she was singing and just put that in a big delay. Put it in a distortion unit, just anything to add that interest, layering in these types of sounds to create a more complex, compelling, and interesting arrangement is absolutely necessary, especially for vocal tracks. All right. Hopefully that made sense there. Hopefully that makes sense there. I'm definitely going to make a tutorial video on it. I've never heard anyone really talk about it before. Just the different dynamics of vocals throughout an arrangement. I mean, you hear it in tracks all the time, but I guess it's just not as obvious, and people just don't talk about it. And I think I definitely will make a tutorial video on it at some point. But yeah, I really think that's one of the main things in your track that could really improve it. Do I have any other feedback for it? More low end, more low end and more mid range I think is needed. The drop felt a little bit thin, so bring up that mid range to thicken it out and really create an impactful drop. I think that's what is needed with the vocal effects, dynamic vocal arrangement. That will really take your track to the next level, in my opinion. So hopefully that feedback helped there. Glad it was gold, Dark Side. Glad it was gold. I shoot for the gold every time. Hopefully I can make that tutorial video, though, at some point. Then that'll really be gold. The goal, at least one day is just, I talk about all these specific things in the Twitch channel, and there's just so many things that I want to make tutorials on. So the goal is to have a collection of tutorials where I really think out and really systematically break down the problem, give you solutions to the problems. That way, when you come in with your tracks, I'll have all these videos ready to go for specific situations that you guys are in that could be specific problems that you guys come in with that I think these tutorial videos could help. That way, it's just a never-ending onslaught of links at you, YouTube link. Then the live stream is just going to be me just sending YouTube links the whole time. But still, there's always things that could be said that cannot be said in a YouTube video, just me directing you to a tutorial video. All right, that was a long rant, but I think it was worth it. Definitely worth it, because I see that so often. Moving on. Mini Mailer, are we in here? Are we in here, Mini Mailer? We gotta be in here. 17 minutes away from the free giveaway, guys. We're getting ever so close to this awesome free giveaway. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Let's do it, Mini Crew.
Once again, I cried over you. use me as a tool. Once again, I cried over you. You played your games and left me blue. From now on, I ain't gonna cry no more. Oh, from now on, I ain't gonna cry no more. Oh, I got one life to live, one love to give. I got one life to live, one love to give. One life to give. You hurt me like a crime hurts a fool. You confuse me and use me as a tool. I ain't gonna cry.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and hop right into the feedback here. That way we can get to everyone's tune. So I'll get into what I think could be improved with the track, and I hope you guys go ahead and put that in the chat as well. What you guys can think could be improved about Mini Mailer's track. So the vocals, I've mentioned this many times before to you, Mini Mailer. The vocals are too buried in the mix. You just wash the vocals away in reverb. Less reverb on the vocals. Less reverb.
Less reverb on the vocals.
Next one, highlight certain instruments in your track. I think that is really necessary. You definitely do this in some of your tunes, but definitely think that this track could use more of it. So you have so many different live instruments that work really well together, but highlighting them will really create a more dynamic arrangement and just more impact and more suspense in your track. Just having the vocals playing alone would sound really good, and then bringing in other instruments. So just because you have a lot of instruments doesn't mean they need to play together all the time. Next, variation in the drums. Variation in the drums is definitely needed. It sounded like the drums are playing the same pattern the entire time. All I heard was hi-hats and shakers throughout the entire track. Mix that up. Give the listener something new. Give them something, take away the shakers, hi-hats. Bring them back in. Get them wanting more. And also, I think there's an imbalance in the high end with the shaker and the hi-hat. You had the hi-hat on the left-hand side of the speaker and the shaker on the right-hand side. The shaker seemed to be a bit louder than the hi-hat, and there was just more high-end information on the right monitor. And I think maybe just reducing the volume of the shaker. Again, you want it more comparable in energy. So solo the two elements and listen to them and see where you can get them to be comparable in energy. Because right now it feels like the shakers are really overpowering the little tick of the hi-hat that's coming in. And that's it. That's the feedback I have for you. So hopefully that helps. A few tips that I really think can help make the track soar. I don't know why you guys are leaving. We're doing the free giveaway in 12 minutes. We're doing the free giveaway regardless of how many people are in here in 12 minutes. So you probably shouldn't leave. I don't know. It's a free plugin. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Wow, $69 value. And you want to leave with 15 minutes left. You want to miss out on $70, a $70 plugin. That's your choice. That is your choice. We'll be doing the free giveaway in 12 minutes, and I'll let you know how to join once we hit that 12-minute mark there. Dubstep Killer. Cedix, you are up. Thank you so much for waiting, and again for joining the stream for the first time. Let's hear what you got.
I've been watching you for some time. Can't stop staring at those ocean
ocean eyes won't fail. You wanna make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. I'm scared. Never falling from light to side, falling into your ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes. I've been walking through a world gone blind. Can't stop thinking of your diamond. Careful creature, friends with time. You left her lonely with the diamond. Those ocean eyes won't fail. Wanna make me cry with those ocean eyes. I'm scared. You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. I'm scared. I'm never falling quite this high, falling into your ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes.
Nice. Loving it, Cedix. Thank you for sending on in your remix of Ocean Eyes. Any feedback for Cedix, go and put that in the chat. What you liked, what you think can be improved about the song. Definitely. So I definitely recommend I know, it's a work in progress and, it's not mastered or anything, but definitely raise the volume of the mix when you export it. Definitely want it some sort of comparable volume. Again, doesn't have to be limited and, release ready volume. But yeah, I pumped up the volume all the way on my monitors, and I don't think I've ever done that. Ever. For the 7 years I've owned this thing. So yeah, just if you want to show a track, if you listen to a track that's incredibly quiet like that, people will be discouraged from listening to that, I would say. But anyways, as far as the track goes, definitely good job on it. I love the kind of more poppy, electronic-y type, future bassy, hybrid genre, whatever you want to call it. I thought that works really well. The vocals worked really well for that type of track as well. I think overall the track was a little bit muddy. I think it could use some cleaning up with the EQ. I think that'll definitely help the track. And good news for you, I do have a tutorial you can check out. So let me go ahead and pull that up and put that in the chat for you. EQ a muddy mix, copy and paste. Let's check out that link. Definitely recommend. Wait, that's Midside EQ. Which one? Wrong link. But check out that video anyways. Midside EQ. Definitely a very good tutorial as well. If you don't know how to use a Midside EQ, I would definitely recommend checking that out, as it'll tell you how to use it. Just the parameters of Midside EQ. Let me find the other one. EQ a muddy mix. Here we go. Alright, so check out that link as well. And I go over the more intricate details of cleaning up your mix. Again, I love the arrangement of the track. I love the style genre they had going on. Just some of the elements, they needed their own space, and they needed to shine a bit more. Like I said, everything you have in the track was good. It just it needs to shine more, and a lot of that was from just the mud that was being caused from the different elements in your mix. Another thing I think could be used is more vocal effects and some side chaining on the vocals. So vocal effects, just again, reverb, delay, distortion, that sort of thing, just layering in those to your vocals, pitched up, pitched down vocals, again, just to add more interest and keep the song moving a bit more. Could add them in the drop as well, something just again to add more interest to the song. If you listen to your favorite songs, you always, that have vocals, there will always be some intricate small details in the song. It doesn't have to be something major you add to your track. Again, just ear candy, putting the finishing touches on your song, and those vocal effects will really help this. And side chaining, so that sounds kind of weird, right? Side chaining on your vocals. Side chaining on your vocals definitely helps a lot. Now, when you do side chaining, it's going to be a very light side chaining. If you have a very heavy pumping, side chain, you won't be able to hear the vocals that well. A very light, almost unnoticeable side chaining it makes a big difference in your track. The vocal is, very mellow and calm, and I feel like it didn't quite fit in with the groove of your track as well as it could have. And one of the ways to fix that is to side chain it. Side chaining not only helps duck out sounds to create space, so there's not so much of a muddy mix, but it also helps to create a rhythm in your song. And this rhythm can also be applied to vocals in a very subtle way to make a big difference. So added some side chaining to your vocals that are going to the kick and snare, and I think you'll see that it gels a little bit better with the rhythm of your song. Something very small again. Rhythm. Yes, there you go. Rhythm. Add a rhythm to your song. That'll fix your issues there. Just anytime you have any problems in your song, just add a little bit of rhythm. Yeah, sidechain your hats as well. That could also work. Really, I sidechain everything in my mix except the snare or clap. I sidechain all my percussion. Usually, I'll sidechain. If I have a drum fill, I might not sidechain that. But mostly my percussion and really everything else in the mix. To varying degrees, as mentioned, the vocals again don't have as much sidechain on there as other elements, but it just helps create that consistency and having, a consistent just rhythm in your track. Again, it just ties the song together. So definitely something to experiment with there. Yeah, so I think that's what could really help take your track to the next level. Something that would really help improve your track. Again, just the money mix, the sidechain, the vocals, and adding in vocal effects. Something very small could go a long way here.